Fair enough. So Snoopy says hero wins, which I guess means that Clem 2 zeros. That's just how that works. I don't make the rules, folks. But I can tell you that game number 1 is loaded on up. And in the upper left, in the blue, he is for Team Liquid. Mlem, it's Clem.
And spawn here at the bottom right. Use the red Protoss from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He's the Protoss hero. By the way, I want to go ahead and apologize, guys, for the little bit of lag that we had in the previous game. Korea server and I just don't mix as I live in the States, but hopefully it wasn't too horrible. But we're now back in the NA server, so hopefully things should be smooth on. Should be much more smoother going on forward, and we won't have any of those lag problems.
Yeah, I mean, it happened. It was a... the problem is, Snoopy, the internet is a series of tubes, and sometimes the tubes going from America to Korea, the whales above them, they do barrel rolls in a corkscrew motion instead of a counter corkscrew motion. And then that messes with the Coriolis effect of the tubes, and it gets all the internet all tangled up, and it takes a little while for it to get unsnagged. So,
yeah.
You know?
Makes total sense. I do wish for a day where, I mean, probably not in the foreseeable future, but a day where internet advances far in terms of technology that ping is not an issue, or the distance between countries isn't an issue in terms of the internet, and then, you know, streaming could be like absolutely lag free.
You know? Yeah. My theory is that we're eventually going to get to a point with like quantum entanglement, where like we can effectively do like a telephone interchange. We just have kind of these, which is kind of how the internet even works right now, where you just have everything entangled, and you just sort things around to send stuff to where it needs to be, much like, you know, earlier telephone arrays when we get there. I don't know. And then, I mean, yeah, it doesn't break the speed of light, but it would be effectively instantaneous on Earth, and that'd be a lot of fun. Look at this. We got a proxy starport on the map in game number 1 from Clem, not really wanting to let Hero get into the game, right, to the level that he would like. And as this is a blink opener from Hero, it's a good opener from Clem.
Yeah, the element of surprise really works out well in this game of StarCraft 2. And looks like Clem is going to attempt to surprise Hero. Now there is a kind of dark area on the edge of Hero's base where if he flies in, drops those Hellions, and then just bombard the mineral line. I mean, there's no shield battery to speak of. You could kill a lot of probes theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, that's something that Terrans are pretty aware of, the kind of the standard spots that they can hide things or not. So the Hellions now, they're going to show up, and actually, funnily enough, it's only 3 of them. It does, of course, mean that you have to get less workers to get something done. Proxy changes the calculus a little bit, but anyways, Clem really going bare minimum on this aggression. Is Blink is not going to be done for the first round of aggression, first round of drops of the Hellions. Really, it is for the second one. So now Hero is going to be aware of things. Probes are going to get pulled away. Couple probes pulled away just to make sure that they can't really chase it all that easily. And the Stalkers, they now arrive. Only 3 workers go down. Hellion falls. Well handled by the Korean Protoss to start. You want more than that. At least if you're a Clem fan, you do. And with it only being 3 Stalkers warping into the natural, I don't know how much more damage Clem's going to be able to get done. He's on 2-shotting right now, not 1-shotting. It takes a longer for damage to happen.
Yeah, the magic number of 3 Hellions is what you really want when you're trying to harass a mineral line. But hey, look at here. We have actually have a 4-gate blink opening coming from Hero. So while that attack did kill 3 probes, didn't really kill too much after that. Now it's time for Hero's turn as he goes ahead and... Oh, actually, nice catch there on the Hellions. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and start putting on the pressure over at Clem's side of the base. However, Clem set up pretty nicely. However, oh man.
Him? Yeah, there's a problem here. STVs are going to get pulled. Hero can't quite get close enough, but Stim is not getting repaired just yet. There is a decent amount of time before Stim is done, so if Hero is going to be able to get that second round of damage, he will be able to cancel it off. But for now, the Hellion will fall. He did lose a Stalker, I think. I did lose one, but now he's forced all the tanks in the main base. It means the natural is far more exposed than it otherwise would be, but no. Clem rotates over where he needs to. One shot goes down, but Stalker, they just blink on top of it. Hero, target, please. He just lost a bunch of Stalkers there because he clicked the main, he clicked the command center, not the tank. Hero, come on, please.
Yeah, that's got to be a misclick there, which is so unfortunate.
He just lost 4 Stalkers in that, and Stalkers, when you're going 4-gate blink, I mean, that's a round of weapons. That is incredibly important. But now there's not a lot in the main base here. Stalkers blink up on the right side. War Prism goes forward, looking to see where the tank is, and we'll be able to see that one. Looks like Stim is not going to be a prime target, though, unfortunately. Are those Zealots? Yeah, okay, so this is kind of cool. Charge is not done, of course. But a Hero is looking for a position where he can just run the Warp Prism on top of a tank. Kill that tank off with a couple Zealots and really enable his push. Now, he's not really been successful in that one just yet, but that's the idea. But of course, Stim is done +1, about 5 seconds from completion. Hero knows the timings, though, from what he saw. So he's going to run backwards a little bit. He says, you know, this bio army from Clem is getting a little bit too ornery for me. I got to back up. I think he's got Stim. So he's going to hold the high ground here. Charge done in 10 seconds, which is, of course, where Hero is going to be rather happy. And with the tanks not as part of this in this main base anymore, the Zealots, they can get a lot done. So SPs are going to get pulled. And the question now, where does the warping happen? Looks like it will be at home. Hero understands that he's already getting enough damage on Clem's side of the map. He just needs to make sure that he does defense. So Zealots, they run forward. Tanks are not there, and even if they were, they're not sieged up just yet. This is a massive choke here for Clem. And Hero, he's got to back up just a little bit, but he just got 13 SCVs. He's not unhappy with the game state.
Yeah, as long as he hold on at the front, he should be fine. And actually, more than fine, as the Warp Prism still alive here in the backside. We'll go warp in some additional units, get additional 5 SCVs, and that is going to go ahead and bring up the total to 21 SCVs killed throughout this game. But Hero's not done. Going to go ahead and attack at the front at the same time. And Clem, he's going to have to make sure to spread his units correctly. He does have a tank on the high ground to protect the natural, but his Warpism still annoying at the main base. Will finally stabilize.
I mean, stabilize is a strong word for it, I think. Hero is up about 10 workers, a little bit less right now, but more importantly, he's got a lot of gateways. He's got a lot of charge lots. And if he's going to be able to maybe even just bulldog a couple Zealots on top of that tank, what do we have? Yeah, we only have that one tank. This defensive position from Clem is really not... It seems somewhat weak, but again, still always hard to push into a turtling Terran. So Hero does have his 4th base on the way, adding a forge. I feel like I want to see double forge at this point just because of how far behind his upgrades are. But Hero senses weakness. We're going to see Archons get warped in as a... Those were high dump? Yeah. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought that was going to be just for an Archon. You generally don't warp in Eye Templars that early. But no, he's got Storm on the way. Maybe this is going to be for Storm drops. I mean, maybe probably just Storm drops on the army. But Storm should be done right around the time that Clem gets across the map with this army. And he's already lost one fight. He loses another with how problematic the last couple of minutes have been. And it's going to be... Hero's going to be very happy with how things are going. So the question now, is the Storm going to be good enough? Because when you commit to Storm like this, Snoopy, it is a significant commitment. That being said, Widowmine drop bottom side does not get anything. Hero is very much on top of this, but maybe not in this position just yet. Storm is done in 15 seconds. And the damage here that Clem is getting done on the 4th base, not insignificant. Tank 1 is sieged up, but really is only the single tank. Widowmine's not really getting the damage they look for. The Stalkers blink forward. Widowmine on top of everything. Storms now, they're gonna whiff, but it does not matter because Heroes won the fight anyways, forcing Clem back for a second time. The supplies are a little bit problematic here, but really it is just Marines. And then, folks, when Storm exists, Marines, they go away very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, Heroes down 1-1 upgrade, so, you know, the Bio Army of Clem is going to be a bit more efficient, but with the splash damage of the High Templars, that can even it out. In the meantime, Clem actually going for a 3 medevac drop, feeling safe enough to split his units this way. And will it force a recall, or does Hero just go for it?
This is a bit of an Artosis pylon here. It's knocking down reinforcements in the extreme of the Stalker. They think they have it. Widow Mines now. They're going to go off on a couple of these Zealots. Another Warpin showing up. 9 probes have gone down. Storms on top of this army. Not enough just yet. It's only a single storm. So, 3 gateways, they're depowered. The army here of Hero finding its way further and further and further forward. These Immortals, all 3 of them shredding the Ghosts and the Marauders here. That Clem, he holds dear, but he's still maintaining that supply lead. That being said, into the natural, Hero does go. More and more units are going down. Archon at the front, it's popping like a lead balloon, or I guess a blue balloon here, as now the Immortals are starting to fall here as well. Hero, I don't think he had to do this. And now he's in a massive problem. He has 8 gateways, sure, but I don't think any of them are able to do anything. Hero now dropping down to about 26 probes. He's going to lose that 4th base. Hero, if he just recalled, I think he would have been fine. But instead, he tried to do the killer option, and Clem held well enough. And now, with 43 probes down, Hero at 50% the army supply of Clem, it's looking pretty dicey for Rainer's advancement.
Yeah. It was a little bit of interesting couple of seconds as... Yeah, I agree with you. I think Hero should have probably just recalled. And by the time he did recall, he actually recalled into the wrong base. Like the rest of Clem's army was hitting the 3 o'clock base by the time the recall was finished. And so he lost not only the Nexus, but also a lot of probes. And right now, he is now down to 34 workers compared to the 44 of Clem. And what's even more scarier is that Clem has such a large supply lead in terms of the army, but also with +2 and 1. The only hope is if Hero can get some money storms, but even then, I feel like maybe it's not enough.
Those EPs on the right side of those side Templar were fantastic, but 1 storm to rule them all, 1 storm to find them, 1 storm to not bring them all together, because Clem has more than enough. He takes game 1. That was really all he needed. That was really all that he needed. I mean, he wants to win this series. You get $100 for winning a series, but now he is guaranteed moving on to the playoffs. Rainer in 3rd place, Bjorn in 4th. Game 1, Clem's aggression did not... Honestly, this was game 1 was a game that Hero should have won. But Hero, as good as he is, Snoopy, he has a tendency sometimes to see win conditions that aren't there. He'll blink onto a bunch of Hydras with lurkers behind, with Hydra-ling, on game 5 of a series where all he had to do is go back and tech up. He'll go for base trades like this that really he doesn't have to. And then he does, as good as he is, he will sometimes lose games that he really should have won.
I feel like it's like a pattern of some sort with like very Blink Stalker happy Protoss players, where they would just blink forward despite not being the smartest move. Some kind of very reminiscent of Patience, who is very comfortable with Blink Stalker play, and you will see him just like go for these aggressive blink forward in like the worst situations, and you're like, why did you do that? That was not the right call. And I think Hero sometimes displaying some of those tendencies, although it hasn't hurt him too badly, as he's done really well for himself, especially these past couple of months. But it's a interesting thing to kind of note and see if he kind of fixes that going forward, or will it be kind of a continuing pattern?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes Hero blinks, and sometimes he blunks, and never really know. You say it hasn't hurt him. I mean, I would argue that game versus Dark, game 5 in Valencia, denied him a shot at a finals, but it's okay because it just meant that, well, it did deny him a shot at the finals, but a finals appearance that he should have had. But it's okay, Snoopy, because it meant we got Maru versus Hero and the GSL finals, and I don't know that if Maru and Hero play each other in Valencia finals and GSL finals, that the result's the same. And I know if I'm Hero, I think I'd probably rather win a GSL versus a Valencia.
Yeah. I mean, the prize pool I think is bigger as well, and also it's more prestigious, I feel like.
Oh, but more importantly, you get the little lapel pin.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so hero opening Phoenix play game 2. I like this given what we've seen from Clem. And Clem is one of these players that less goes for the high barrack scenarios, the 2 racks, the 3 racks, stuff like that, and will go for drops. Game 1 didn't get a lot done, but it would have gotten even less done if this had been a Phoenix opener. It will be Widowmine drops in game 2. So Widowmines, they should really get nothing done here whatsoever. And Phoenix play is pretty good on this map. There's a lot of dead airspace. It's a big map. You can be on the other side. You can really delay pushes. It's just a nice scenario. It makes the Protoss feel nice, safe, happy, cozy, comfy. You know, it's like a Phoenix are like a nice warm blanket.
Yeah, they're quite safe, very useful. They kind of counter, at least blind counter, a lot of openings that Terrans usually go for, because you see a lot of Terran players, you know, kind of go for maybe a Widowmine drop or even a Hellion drop or maybe even Banshees. Phoenix is able to chase down those Banshees. So yeah, it's a pretty versatile opening for a Protoss player.
Yeah, it just keeps you safe from most things. And even if it is the 3 racks opening, you'll tend to scout it in time with a Phoenix on the other side of the map that you get something done anyways. That you're able to build the shield batteries and build the units that you require to make sure that you do stay alive. And of course, behind this, Forge on the way, Twilight as well. This is going to be Phoenix into charge. Widowmine's going to look to burrow down, but he catches it just in time. And should be yeah, there we go. Phoenix will stay alive, no scan. But with this being charged lot Phoenix, we're going to see 789 Phoenix most likely. You hold gas right now. But you wait for Twilight and Forge to go up so you can get your +1, so you can get charged on the way, and then you do generally go back into a Phoenix production because it just provides really so much map control, and 4 Phoenix is not the magic number for any style. Oh, there we go, +1, and Phoenix into Blake, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, normally you will see like Phoenixes into either Colossus or Charge Lot or Massive Depths. But you know what? If Hero feels safe enough, he can go ahead and transition to Blink, and then, you know, of course, quickly try to get charged. Of course, Hero being Hero, throwing down 5 gateways, gonna transition into kind of the mass gateway kind of play style.
So I want to go into why I think it's a little. I mean, at base level, you say, okay, well, that's just not how the build works. So why would you do that? But there's a reason that you don't go Stalker into Blink, or you don't go Phoenix into Blink Stalker. They fill the same role, Snoopy, right? You go and Blink Stalkers, they're not super beefy, but they do good drop defense. They're good anti-air, you know, they're mobile like that. But they're not a strong fighting force necessarily. Zealots do that. Colossus, they do allow for that. So why do you need both when you can have just the one? Is this push coming in from Clem right now? Blink is going to be done right around the time this push ends, or this push is ready, but Clem's double. I feel like Heroes just kind of dies, and that feels really weird to say, but he's double the army supply. It's Phoenix, it's Blink Stalker, which is not that strong of a defensive force, to be totally honest. Now, if he catches the army right here, Widowmine shot, no, it's a good retargeting, but even still, Widowmine will not get the damage it's looking for. And I guess actually this army is primarily Marines. There's not a lot that really punches through Stalkers all that well, but it looks like Widowmine drop into the 3rd base, gets 9 workers, and allows Clem to push forward even more, really getting on top of whatever he can. But the Widowmines now, they're going to burrow. Shield battery overcharge is popped. Widowmines, they do go off. Phoenix lift everything. And Clem, Widowmines, they kill off 2 of the Phoenix. Now Stalkers blink forward. And Clem is forced to back up, but he gets 10 probes. So not the end of the game that it was kind of looking like as the Stalkers look forward, trying to chase this all down. But Widowmines, of course, burrow, prevent too much of a chase. The hallucinated Phoenix. It's not going to drag on top of the army, but it does trigger that 1 Widowmine. And there we go, another drag. At a very low set of Marines here, but a Widowmine, the 3rd one goes down. Stalkers do fall. Hero thinks he's got an opportunity here to make this game end right now. At the very least, he's trading pretty damn well, Snoopy.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of smart choices from Hero. I mean, when you transition from Phoenix to with, you know, Blink Stalkers, of course, the trouble with that is that your army is very flimsy. You know, Phoenixes are not, you know, kind of like Marauders, like Bulldozer or Boulder, kind of like they're kind of flimsy. They're like paperweight. Same with Stalkers. You're not, you know, the strongest against Bao, especially with Marauders in there. But the thing is, he added in those sentries, and those sentries provide force fields for him to segment some of those, bow units, and that allows him, of course, with the blink micro as well, to hold on. And then after that, he has had a dirt base relatively established quickly on, and was able to survive. And now he can go ahead and throw down a 4th and play or transition into higher tier units, which it looks like he is getting the upgrades, as well as adding a robotics facility and a robotics bay.
Yep, he's getting very far into the end of that tech path. Now, of course, Hero did lose a decent amount of workers to the Widow Mine drop, so that's a good position there for Clement. Is justify some of the pressures. Widow Mine's going to get a little bit, but cannons kind of make it hard to get too much, as the 5th base will be delayed. But here's the big thing, right? Ghosts are on the way. Widow Mine count is not insane, but it's a decent shot. Well, some sentries go low, some stalkers go low, but nothing really significant of note. But with this Ghost joining the fray, suddenly the Zealots, the stalkers, are not as effective as they might otherwise be. As looks like the Widow Mine dropping the natural, got 6 more workers, and Clem now holding the high ground here. Force field works against Hero a little bit. He loses a single Zealot, and okay, that can't escape. Widow Mines continue to find damage, Snoopy.
Yeah, he's kind of basically trying to distract him with this, bow ball here at the front, and then just trying to sneakily drop these Widow Mines at the backside while Hero is distracted. And it drops Hero down to 56 workers. And actually, these classes are quite vulnerable. Gotta be careful. These are very, very important units, especially with Hero kind of fighting for his life. He is down in terms of worker supply. You add in those mules, that furthers, that's a bigger advantage for Clem. And so all that Hero can rely on right now are in those splash damage units, in those Colossus, and potentially Disruptors that's going to be added in later on.
Yeah, that was a really scary moment there for Hero. The Colossus were somewhat exposed. There was no extended thermal, and some Marauders really find it pretty easy to get on top of that one. Stalkers blink forward, 1 Viking falls, make it 2, not really, not enough. But because Clem is looking to trying to figure out where the army of his opponent is in Earth, because keep your eye on the minimap there. There's a big blue dot on the bottom side. Clem actually looks like he's going to bring it home. I thought that was going to be for a drop in the main or something. But he says, your army is scary, Hero. I kind of need everything, but also if I hold, I'm going to be in a great, great, great spot. And this, by the way, this position that Hero is attacking into, it is very hard for the Protoss to do so. You can attack from multiple angles as the Terran. It becomes a big surround, but there are still 4 Colossus, and the Viking count, not incredible. But here we go. SCVs are going to get pulled, coming in from every side. Clem thinks he's got an opportunity. Stalkers playing on the right side, but on the left, here comes the army. 8 SCVs have fallen to start the Colossus, though they're still staying alive here. And Hero, he's taking this fight with aplomb. Stalkers playing on top of everything. EMP's blanket this army, but the Colossus still doing what it can. Last Colossus does fall. The Vikings are going to land. Actually, Hero, have you overstepped just a little bit, but reinforcements arrive. Stalkers blink forward once again. Clem forced to give this position up, but he loses 19 SCVs, loses this position. Even still, the army supplies at the end of the day are equivalent, and 4 Colossus have died. Hero thought he saw game-ending damage there, and for a moment I believed, but it was not quite enough, not just yet. But the big point about this, he's forced Clem into a defensive position, and that is where Disruptors, they shine. You can only have so much room to dodge out of the way of the big spinning glowing ball of death. Vikings landed on the high ground, and there we go. Disruptor ball one goes out, gets a couple SCVs, not too much of the army just yet. But notice now the Stalkers, the Zealots, they're getting on top of the production here of Clem. He's got to pull the trigger. He's got to make a fight happen. EMP hits the army, but not the Disruptor. Second shot goes out, gets a single Marine. And now Clem feeling like maybe he can chase down to the low ground, tagging 1 Disruptor, getting damage done onto it, but the 3rd one arrives, and the scan as well. Clem's life becoming very difficult indeed. And that first fight from Hero, not quite as good as I thought it was, but it seems like it will be enough to break through Clem here at this point, as he just can't produce anymore. His production is getting camped. The Disruptors making it too hard, Snoopy, for Clem to really take the fight he wants.
Yeah, it's such an awkward area to fight in, especially with these Disruptors. However, maybe this Liberator can siege up. Nope, actually gets sniped out by these Stalkers. And this 1 Disruptor will clean up the last remaining, or actually a bunch of Marines here at the backside. And still, those Disruptors staying alive, which means that, after the cooldown, they can shoot out more and more, and then just slowly decrease the amount of units for Clem. This is so close. I mean, Clem might want to go ahead and just pull the SCVs right now.
Okay, so the last disruptor shot is done. If there's an opportunity for Clem, it is pretty much right now. So you're going to go on low ground, tagging a disruptor. Another shot goes off. Split is going to be good. Only one Marauder does fall. Colossus, #1, goes down, but Stalker's playing on top of things. And there we go. Talked about pulling SCVs. Now is his timing. So SCVs get pulled off. Stalkers continue to fall. Disruptor shots. Does he get the disruptor shot down? No, he does not. It gets off. And now, Clem, we look at the army supply, you say, okay, it's close enough, but a lot of that is in medevacs. 10 of that supply is in medevacs. Those are not fighting units. Only reason Clem's alive here right now is he has that planetary that is able to keep mining from, but it doesn't even feel like the money is the problem, although it is a significant one. He just cannot build enough to defend this. He can never really find himself in a good position, but hey, Widow Mines are going to be nice. They almost kill a disruptor, certainly. And Liberators sieging up once again. 14 more SCVs do go down. Hero cresting about 50 army supply. And getting into the main base is even harder than the natural, sure, but it seems like Hero has absolutely done it here. Clem understands that he has to 2-0 to get first place. He does not want to give the game up, but he will anyways. Hero takes a fantastic game number 2, and folks, as is the story here in Group A, we're going to game 3. So do you think we see Stargate play again from Hero? Seemed to work out pretty well. I mean, I don't think it really didn't even really do all that much. I mean, I guess it prevented the drop from even happening, as Clem just never went with the Widowmine drop until the mid game. So it didn't really it impacted the game by forcing inaction rather than actually interacting with the game in a significant extent.
Yeah, I think Stargate play wouldn't be a bad choice, because on this map specifically, it's a bit more difficult to actually blink up to your opponent's base, because it's kind of blocked off by a couple of mineral patches. Not the most smooth kind of blink area. And so, you know, while blink stalkers are kind of the bread and butter of Hero, I could see him just like opening up with Stargate and then transitioning into maybe the blink stalkers. Not necessarily going for a blink up into the main of the Terran, but use it more as a defensive kind of stalker, the defensive tool to make sure, you know, he stays safe on the ground.
And well, at the end of the day, you're going to be right. There's a Twilight on the way. It's not going to be a Stargate opener. So, I mean, there's a weird world where this is a charge opener, but that is very unlikely. I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've seen that, in the history of Legacy of the Void, against Terrans, of course. Against Zerg, there is a charged opener where you go Charge-Led Archon all in, or Charge-Led Archon timing. But yeah, in this matchup, Adapt's doing a good job zoning the Reaper out. It doesn't get the best scout, but it gets enough. Really, that's all you want to know. You say, okay, is there Stargate? Is there Twilight? Well, I don't think it got the Twilight though. Oh, it did. Okay. So, he would like to know whether this is DTs or not, but other than that, I mean, he's aware of what's happening for the most part, and not going to dive in though. Look, Clem is thinking about diving in, sacrificing the Reaper for a scout, but no, he says I'd rather have it on the map.
All right, looks like a robotics facility being added here behind this Twilight blink opening. So it's not going to be at least I don't think it's going to be the 4 gateway, especially with the additional gases. Yep, just sticking with 2.
So Clem, he's changing things up a little bit. We saw drops in the first 2 games, but he's spending all that gas on a Raven here in this game number 3. So he's going to look for a much more full frontal push, more just really slam it down the gullet. And that makes sense. Inside and out, rush distance incredibly short, but Hellions in the natural looking for something. 2 workers have gone down, but that really should be, he's going to get 3, but that really should be the extent of things. The Reaper has been dealt with in the main base as well, but interesting. We got a Warp Prism on the way on 2 gateways. Normally, if you commit to the Warp Prism early, it's for a 4 gate, 3 gate, 4 gate, something like that. Otherwise, you just get observers and move into things. But I guess Hero's judgment is maybe that, well, you just kind of committed a lot of stuff there. There was 4 Hellions going down. Maybe he's going to be able to make something happen. Look at this. Twilight Council going down before a 3rd. charge that Archon time, I guess, or really quick Storm. Interesting build from Hero in this game 3.
Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. Still stuck on 2 gateways, so I don't know, a little kind of a question mark in my head right now. I would expect like at least 4 gateways if he's going to do this, but okay, looks like he's going to start adding in some gateways. Now, will he add additional and go just for a 2 base all in? Because right now his dirt is really delayed, but it looks like he has a probe there looking to plant down that. Oh, actually nice interference matrix on that Warp Prism. Delays or denies the Warp Prism from saving the Stalkers, but luckily for them, they do have Blink, so they're able to blink on out.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, Stim does go down, or the tank does go down. That's always nice. The Raven takes half damage, and it's just such an obnoxious. You have 2 blinks from Hero, and behind this, yeah, it is going to be charged. It is going to be Storm. Hero just doing so much to distract, to make life difficult for Clem going forward that, well, he's going to really, he's hoping that Clem makes some macro mistakes, some problems going down, and certainly Clem thinks this is more committed than it is. He's got 2 bunkers in the natural.
Yeah, he's playing it really safe. He's like, I don't want to die to like an 8 or 10 gateway, just like charge that all in or something.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I mean, of course, with Storm, it's not quite the same. And you do have Storm. You do go to 4 gas. This is not your 3 gas match charge. Let us at depths. Well, that was a sacrifice for the something. But there we go. Storm drops in the natural. 5 SCVs go down, and the High Templar does stay alive. And we're gonna have to see if he comes back. I imagine he's got a decent amount of energy on those High Templar. I think they were warped in right as the Templar Archives was complete. But we're also kind of seeing why Storm drops are not as popular as they once were. Snoopy, 5 workers is not a lot for the amount of commitment that you have to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, he does force a pull off of gas, or not off of gas, but off of the mineral line. But still, yeah, I think sometimes there's a little bit of a hit or miss with the Storm drops. You can get lucky and kill like 10 SCVs, or you can get okayish trades with maybe 5. If you get less than that, then it's like a little bit of a botch. Anyhow, it looks like Clem is going to go ahead and start pushing forward onto this 12 o'clock base. However, getting that early Storm, that does set up well for Hero to defend against this, as all he needs to do is just zone out the Marines and then get on top of the tanks, and as you can see, tanks get cleared out pretty easily.
Yeah, that Widowmine had me scared. It got so much damage on the Warp Prism. It's like, okay, well, the High Templar are still in the Warp Prism. This is a bit spooky, but now Storm totally whiffing. He stormed his own zealot, really. It was, yeah. If the Storm had landed, that's a lot of dead Marines, but it's not going to be quite enough. That being said, Widowmine drop coming in from Clem. And by the way, Clem is up 10 workers. Yeah, we can talk all we want about, oh, the Storm drop got maybe not enough or whatever. But Hero did get his 3rd base faster. Even still, Clem's economy is in a fantastic spot. Widowmines are going to go off. Hero kind of pulls, but he's still oh, he's going to lose even more. Oh, no, he loses 8 workers. I thought that was going to be even worse. Into the 3rd base, though, Hero will go. A nice hot pickup there on the High Templar, keeping it alive. But Clem's supply is doing pretty good. He has a significant eco lead right now, as the Raven's going to harass even more. We see that on the minimap right now. The question now is whether Hero can break Clem from this turtled up position with Widowmines everywhere. I don't know that he can, which just means the game continues to be very, very good for the young Frenchman.
But the good news is that there are no tanks left. However, these Widowmines are going to... kind of a little bit of a awkward dance around, but here we go. Nice little concave that Clem is setting up right now. Oh, you got to move his units, though.
Oh no, this is just a bait. He says, yeah, overcommit, find your way where you cannot retreat anymore. And now here we go, coming in from both sides. You got to be very careful of those Storms. Look at those preemptive splits, though. Storm does not really land. I think there are like 2 or 3 Storms where that has come from. But this position from Clem is so fantastic. Now SCVs are going to get pulled. You don't want to pull them into a bunch of Storms. That does not feel all that good. SCVs get pulled into an Archon, and Hero will absolutely take that one. He loves that. He says, yes, please, twice on Sundays. And despite the positioning that Clem was making, which I thought was really, really good, The orbital is on fire. We're going to see an auto turret get dropped trying to snipe an Archon, but will be unsuccessful. Widowmines are going to move forward and burrow. Target fire on one of them is going to get the second as well. Clem, despite everything, his positioning, the damage he just got, hero season opening, this time he executes it properly, and he, folks, does win the game. He wins the series. It's 2-1. He's $100 richer. Well, actually $300 richer, as he's not lost a series today. And as we saw guaranteed from that last game, he's going to be in first place in Theater of Dreams Group A. Of course, Clem getting out in second.